Hello, hello. Happy Monday. It's Bernadette. Super excited today. I'm having a ton of fun. I realize it's like 12 o'clock here in Texas, but it's been really interesting watching this whole TikTok ban. I listened to the congressional hearings yesterday on replay. So I was very curious to see how the Supreme Court, or not congressional hearings, the Supreme Court SCOTUS hearings um, yesterday. And while we don't have an answer yet as to what they're going to do with TikTok, I find it very interesting the arguments and what's happening right now. So I don't know if you're aware. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're on the bandwagon of this new grassroots movement. But a bunch of the people on TikTok, rather than going back onto Meta or X, are revolting quietly. We are creating a quiet revolution and moving to the Chinese platform called Xiaohongshu, which, if you look it up in the App Store, it's a red thing, and they call it the little red note in English. I joined over there yesterday, and I also joined a platform that's owned by an American, a Texan called Clapper. And Clapper is going to have to shift and change and grow because the stuff on Clapper was really, the videos I was seeing when I first signed up were crazy, not good material. My algorithm seems to have picked up better today. But I think that as a whole, we're all just trying to send a message. You know, the whole thing with the TikTok ban was about data privacy, data protection, yada, 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 on a Chinese owned app, when in reality, um, they have safeguards. They firewalled our American data. They kept it separate. And so their arguments are really lame. And everybody's now moving over to Red Note. And the videos are hilarious. And the Chinese are so welcoming. I mean, they love what's happening. And they're, huge time zone difference, but they're being very cool about it. And the videos that are being shown are fun. So if you're not over there, you might want to add it for the sake of sending a message to the controlling billionaire class that, hey, we're not. If you're going to get rid of TikTok and you're going to say it's about data, when in reality, we all know it's because it is the number one platform that outperforms X and all the meta stuff. So you want to shut it down and say it's about data security and yada yada, when you singled out a platform. You didn't single out all Chinese owned platforms like Temu and Shein and even Xiaohongshu. So everybody's moving over there. And a lot of people are talking about deleting Meta. Right now, I'm leaving my Meta stuff here as things play out, but I am actually getting ready to create some content over on Clapper, where you can find me, Bernadette Gold. And then I am over on Xiaoyongshu, and that's Bernadette Gold as well. I like that we are not falling into victim mode on this one, that we are sending a huge message, clear message, demanding for representation in Congress, because they passed this law without asking the American people. I want to know what you guys think about it. So put your comments in. I really do. I want to know if you guys have checked out these other platforms. Have you joined? Are you going to join? Are you going to stay here? And I realize I am on Meta and YouTube. In recent years, my like the algorithm on both platforms just has floored the ability for even the people who are in my groups and in my programs and following me to see when I'm actually posting. So I don't have a problem starting over on new platforms. um, I like the community aspect that was on TikTok. I didn't spend a lot of time growing my following over there. But with new platforms, I'm going to, I'm going to be out there and more vocal and support this movement, because it's not just big corporations taking away platforms like TikTok that are 175 million American users, and small businesses and creators making money. We're at a place where there's a decline in jobs in the economy. We are in a place where they are not regulating big corporations. We've seen it over and over and over again. So I'd really like to hear from you guys. Put your comments in. Tell me where you're at with all of this. I think this is fabulous. And have you checked out Red Note? Have you added it? I think it's amazing. Really, really, they're super welcoming. And I think if we go over there with respect, and I mean, I'm going to learn some Chinese. I watch Chinese and Korean dramas, so it's not a big deal to me. I'm used to reading subtitles, but I want to learn some Mandarin and expand my cultural knowledge, and send a message, right? Like, people over profits. This has to stop, right? We want representation, not domination. And I think that is the message that these movements are speaking loud and proud. And if they aren't going to listen, you know, it's not that difficult in a global world with the worldwide internet to continually do these things and make our voices heard. We're not hurting anybody by doing this, moving to other platforms and not supporting these big platforms that only care about their revenue, their ad revenue. And that seems to be what's happened. And to remove the community guideline type stuff, where fact checking and allowing hate speech on these platforms. We lived through 4 years of hate speech. We have lived through many years now on these bigger platforms, with suppressing content and not letting people's voices be heard. And which is why TikTok took off so much. That's my belief. That's my understanding, is everyone got to voice their opinion, their viewpoints, and build community. And I don't know about you guys, but the metas and like X, I have not been on X in years. And when it was Twitter, I just stopped. I never really got into it. But as far as Instagram and Meta, yeah, I post on here, but the engagement's really difficult, and I don't get to see everybody's stuff. And it seems to me that there's a big sort of funky algorithm that does not honor all of us that are on there. So I am really curious. I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you are over there on the new apps, please follow me. I know on Clapper you can create community groups, which I'm going to learn how to use that app a little bit more. But I'm going to be creating stuff on both platforms in a tempered way, until we find out for sure that TikTok's going away. I don't know if they can roll this back. Maybe they can. I hope that they do. It's really given me more incentive to create over on TikTok, regardless of whether it goes away in 9 days or not, just to really be part of the conversation. At my age, 58, I'm very proud of the way that everybody's coming together, in America, that are on the TikTok platform and supporting one another. And I'm really happy with the reception from the Chinese with us going to their platform. And they're doing stuff to make it easier with translations. They're creating new buttons. While it's not there yet, they have welcomed us. They really have welcomed us over there. So I urge you guys to check those alternatives out. But I'd like to know, are you part of this quiet revolution that's basically giving the finger to the big corporate interests. I mean, you know, the first term of our incoming president, he started the TikTok ban. He's the one that started it. Most people are not aware of that, but he is, in fact, the one that started it to pass a ban. And then it's been in court and hearings for 4 years. Like it's been going on for that long to give into corporate interests. And I think we're all a little tired of it. I am. I'm tired of our healthcare system being broken. Aren't you? I've done videos about my own struggles in the last year with cancer and starting my cancer journey without insurance, and the craziness of how much they charge and having to pay that. And I've had a ton of support from you guys. I would not have gotten through it had it not been for community, and most of it coming from YouTube and Facebook, my friends that are on here. But many of you know me personally. You've worked with me. You are my friends, and family. And we're now kind of becoming more of introduced to the global community, which I think is fabulous. Super excited about that. And this whole thing is just fun. It's fun for me. It's inspiring for me, and it's giving me great ideas for how I actually want to re-engage in life again now that I'm done with treatment so far. Like I won't know for sure. People have asked me like, so you beat the cancer? I mean, I've beat the cancer till now. Is it gone? I don't know. I do not know. I can tell you I'm a little concerned because I can feel that the tumor has grown a little bit. I don't know if that means it's still active. I won't know until I have my PET scan in February. And so I think Valentine's Day is when I have my follow up appointment with the PET scan results. I think it's on the 3rd of February that I get my PET scan, and then the follow up and um, consultation with the oncologist is on the 14th. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I actually have an appointment with my main oncologist this coming Wednesday. So she'll measure and do whatever she does and the blood tests and all of that. But I'm here now. And to be able to be part of all of this and witness to what's happening, and instead of watching everyone whine about the potential closure of TikTok. And I feel bad for the creators that have been monetized over there and the small businesses that have made money over on TikTok. I feel bad that they don't care about the billions of dollars that have been added to the American economy because of TikTok, and they just want to shut it down because they think somehow it's going to funnel all of those dollars over to the Meta platform. Like, no, I don't spend a whole lot of time on Instagram ever, have never really enjoyed it. The comments on Instagram and the engagement on Instagram is just not the same. You know, I've never had bad experience over on TikTok, and thus far have not had anything in the last 24 hours but fun over on Red Note and with Clapper. Hopefully, after today, the algorithm gets better. More TikTok users are going over there, so it seems like it's populating with better content. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I can't imagine a world without community on these apps. And I think they just pushed it a little too far with this TikTok ban. Like it seems to me, and I'd like to know what you guys think. I think they pushed it just a little too far. They went after the wrong thing, and they're really showing their hand on everything because so many of us that are over on TikTok get our news, get updates about what's going on in real time. We've learned a ton over there. I know I have, with reviews of products and with different ways of doing things. I've learned a lot over there, just little things, and it's great. So to have that removed when it's really not doing any harm, like the whole thing about data concerns and national security, maybe in 15 years they use it against the young people who are using TikTok, doesn't even make any sense. Like, it's not a threat right now, and yet you went after it and have been going after it for 4 years. Just says that these billionaires are scratching each other's backs trying to gain their profits back. And the fact that most of us over on TikTok, 175 million Americans, are like, no, no, you don't get to play like that. So it's exciting to me that things are shifting and messages are being sent right now. So I'd like to know your thoughts on it. Put it in the comments. And share with me, if you are enjoying those platforms, if you've gone over there, and what you think about all of this that's going on, because I think this is huge. This is the first time I feel like everyone's kind of coming together and making decisions that show those super wealthy in control that we're not going to let them suppress our voices. We're not going to let them treat us like cattle and funnel us into wherever they think that we should go. Again, I realize I'm on Meta right now. This is where I've been broadcasting, Meta and YouTube, but my following over the years has dropped significantly as the algorithm continues to change, and they don't show my things unless I pay to play, which pisses me off beyond belief. And it's not like that on the other platforms. It really isn't. So eventually, my goal is to come off of these platforms, set up either my website, or I don't know if I'm going to open a new Patreon because I closed my Patreon. I don't know how this is all going to play out, but I do know that my goal is to get off of um, these platforms like this when they keep acting like this. Like, I want to send a message to that says, no, you know, sorry. And I get that Meta stocks are going up right now in advance of the potential ban, but I think afterwards they may very well crash because, yeah, too many people are moving completely away and sending that signal to go to an actual Chinese owned app. Just cracks me up. And I think it's fun. And I think it's funny. And I think it's time. So tell me what you think. I'll see you guys later.